What is up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdcast for the next episode of Planetbase. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today. As I got my recording issues actually all sorted out. I know it's not your problem, and they say that you're not supposed to bring these sorts of things up in episodes, but don't record this game with Fraps or DxTory. For whatever reason, it does not like this game. So our bar's all nice and built up. Let's go have a look at it, and it's actually pretty booming. At least it was a second ago when everybody was depressed. Like right after the liquor got here, there was like 30 people in here all drinking their sorrows away, making themselves feel better. I don't know if this counts for, it looks like it counts for happiness, and that's pretty much it. So there it is. We've got a whole bunch of happiness inside of our colonists. That should make everybody feel nice and happy. So on this side, I think I'll probably put in another big collector over here so that I can bulldoze all these little ones. I need to make a bigger water extractor too. I think I'll probably just retrofit everything at this point, and that's going to be the goal that we're going to shoot for in this episode. So for right now, because we've got these little 30s in here, let's ponder for a minute where we want some of our infrastructure to be. Mostly I want to fill it in on these little cracks over here and things. Places where I can't really put anything anyways would be where I would prefer to get the infrastructure. So let's assume for a moment, let's go for a water extractor. Will that fit in there? We can get a little one in here if we wanted. Oh, we can put a big one in there too. Okay. Put in a big water extractor then. That'll give me a little bit more leeway to get rid of some of this stuff down here too. That'll probably allow me to get rid of our original extractor over here that was built in desperation. Anytime you find yourself building a desperation, you kind of just got to accept that later on we're going to have to like fix this and retrofit and make everything look good again. Did that impact hit us? It sounds like it's so close. Like every time we have an impact, I get so nervous about it. It feels like it's right there, like coming straight at you, and yet it's not. My blanket fell off the back. I have a blanket on the back of my chair. People that come to my streams, my girlfriend made a blanket that's on the back of my chair. I used to take it in the field with me. It's got sentimental value. It's my field blanket because I used to roll it up and put it on my pack. Take it out in the field with me. I would love for these connections to get built, but I realized that was my fault for not doing it in the first place. I like the way that looks right there. It's got kind of like a Washington Monument type thing, an obelisk type look to it, like a 2D obelisk. Oh, look. We have a trading ship. Let's find out what he's got for us. Looks like he's a raw materials trader. His commission's 50% though, so we're going to send him on his way. The commissions in this game are brutal. You could try and wait them out. I mean, that's what I would tell these guys. If it was real life, I'd just be like, your commissions are too high. I'm buying shit from you, brother. You better go back where you came from. Come back with a better deal next time. You insult me with these prices. You insult me, sir. And so the big plan for today is to kind of just move things around and make things work a little bit better. I think that our energy storage is pretty on point. I think we'll be all right there. I think that we're going through some batteries, but if I build another one over here and I turn this little Badlands area into kind of like a resource acquisition area, I can then convert all this into living space for our base, and that would be super awesome. Put a smile on my face, and so that's the plan for right now. Just going to move things around a little bit. I know some people pride themselves on being able to get it right the first time and make their base like perfectly without having to retrofit anything. But no, I don't mind retrofitting. It's part of the fun of the game, is making things a bit more efficient, moving things around a little bit, making sure that you like the way things are deployed. So that right there is going to give us 7.5 for now anyways. For now, because the water appears to be odd. Very, very odd. Do we have a fight? Why do we need guards? It's telling me that I need guards. Ideally, they could be armed so they could do this more efficiently, operate the security. Yeah, I know that. Guards come to the base unarmed. Fighting armed attackers without weapons is very close to suicide. So I would like people to make guns now that we have supplies. I mean, that'd be super cool, so... Super cool, awesome ray guns from space is what I'd like to have. We should be filling up on electricity over here pretty soon as the grid starts to ramp up during the early morning. There it is right there. So our surplus should be flowing into there pretty easily from here on in. That's only drawn 5 out of 7 right now. Are all of them taking damage like that today? Got another colonist coming in. Couple of workers. A pair of workers. Fantastic. That's actually what I need more than anything, is I definitely need workers. So we've got... It looks like they're actually having trouble keeping up with the production orders on ore. Now, they are operating at 2/3 staffing, so just keep that in mind. Oh, a third person's in there now. That should go up a little bit faster. Third-person mining. The best way to mine. I actually prefer third-person games to first-person games. I don't know why. I've always liked third-person games a little bit better. First-person's fun. That's not to say I don't like first-person games at all, but I've always preferred third-person if I have a choice. And so now that we got some big extractors up in here, You know, it's not really pulling its weight, though. Although I think we have, like, a little bit of a drought going right now, which is kind of odd. Like, all of these are operating maybe at 50% capacity. Not looking so sexy right now. Luckily, we've got a water surplus, so it's not that big of a deal. And it's almost nighttime, so our usage should go down, but... You know... I'm gonna go ahead and... How are we looking over here? We're halfway through the night. I'm going to need a bigger storage thing. So we got him right there. He's going to bring in an engineer and a biologist, it looks like. That's fine. We could always use a few more workers. We're at 43 personnel right now. It does look like our food stocks are dropping a little bit. Veggies are up, but vitra meat is down. I don't know if that's because they're drawing directly from the vitra meat to get the real meals, or how that's going, but Sandstorm imminent. I may... Oh, I don't know. I think we're at like a really, really good equilibrium right now, so I may just let them work through. Like, there's not a whole lot of reasons for anybody other than miners to be outside anyways. So I wouldn't... Why aren't you going in that airlock right there? What does it mean if I connect that structure? Like, how does that help me if I connect that structure right there? That was a really short sandstorm anyways. Not so convinced that I care about it. On this side, I wanted to do another big collector. And so if we can go big right there, that'd be fantastic. Go ahead and link these all up real fast. Once the big collector's up and running, we can bulldoze this little guy over here, but not until it's up and running. I'd like to get our storage and collection duties all nice and taken care of. This little guy down here is just filling in blank space, so I'll probably leave him. He looks okay. I don't know why I call my machinery men. Like, you ever wonder about that? Why some things you automatically, like with cars, you automatically make them female. But for like these things over here, I call them these little guys. Like, I don't know. It's weird. And there's some line right there. And I don't know if it's because that's the way that I was raised and somebody else referred it that way. Where they put like the sex modifier on things. That sounds like a dirty man. Put the sex modifier on you, fool. Like, whoa, no sex modifiers on me. Not right now. I just ate. Not till 1 hour after eating. It's like swimming. I don't want to get a side ache and then I won't be feeling good. 54% capacity over here. We got plenty of plastics. Lots of stuff getting done. We're fabricating some spares. I do wish that I could set thresholds as well for how much of like a given object that I want to have. So as an example, if I could say just stop producing spares at 15, that'd be super swell. I'm hoping they put some of these controls in later on and they go by the individual machine. It would just be down here in this blank space. It'd be like produce till, and then you would just fill in the number right there. Alright, so new structure. What time is it? Do we have time to fill that? We do not. I don't think we do anyways. Well, we might have time. Maybe. Let's go ahead and recycle this little dude. And so he's now gone. I'm going to try and make my entire solar grid over here and then build around this way and make it all connect so that this is kind of just like a web work of areas that you can get to. It must be tremendously disorienting to live in an environment like this, though. That's the big thing that I would think is that, like, weirdly, it must be really, really odd to live in this environment of just corridors forever. I think that I'll go for an airlock right here if we can make it fit. Yeah. I think we're a little too constrained right now. But I need an airlock that takes them out to this area. Then again, if I'm retrofitting this and I'm actually bulldozing all of this, we may not need it to happen that way. I can't take this little guy out because I need a connector right there. If I take this little guy out right here, what'll end up happening? Everything's at half capacity right now, which means that I can afford to get rid of one of you guys. Once that pipe's done and built, I'll get rid of this one. And then link those for a minute. I mean, I'm going to undo that link in just a while, but we're going to have to make like Jimmy Rig solutions for a little bit while we get things done. How are we looking on supplies? 8 metals. We got enough plastics. I don't think we're mining hard enough right now. I think we may need another mine as well. And I think the best way for us to make that work would be to put the mine maybe over here somewhere. Or maybe even on this little ridge right here. And I think it's actually an exterior structure. Can you make a bigger or smaller mine? Has to be at the base of a mountain. I would really, really prefer for it to be right here. But it doesn't appear to want that. It's kind of a long walk. I'd like to keep it close to an airlock if I can. Go right there, I guess. That's close enough. It'll work. It'll actually put a little bit of strain on this stockpile right here, which is already at 50% capacity. But I bet it'll be okay. How do you oxygenate a mine? Like, would you have to work in a suit in there? And then they would just pump oxygen to you? If you get, like, Netflix or something on your HUD of, like, your astronaut helmet, how dope would that be? Because then you could just watch Netflix and mine all day. I'd be okay with that. 90% of my problem with working in the first place is just that it's boring. If it wasn't boring, I'd have no problem doing it. Let's see. Constructor bots. Carrier bots. On a 50% commission. You are an animal, sir. You are an animal. You are killing me right now. You are just murdering my face off with this shit. Alright, never mind. I can't afford any of your wares. You suck and I hate you. So we've got a new mine over here. We're going to need a workforce to take care of that, though. And I've noticed that our veggies are sort of dwindling. So by my estimation, a good call right now. We got plenty of spares, so that's good. What other things can we manufacture in here? Guns, spares, and semiconductors? I think I need the semiconductors until I have the robot fabricator, the robot constructor, so that'll be fine. I could probably get rid of this guy. Did they build that pipeline? Okay, so long as they had the pipeline, it's alright. So long as we have the pipeline. And then these two big gigantors over here should keep us in business. 2,500 is the equivalent of 5 of these little guys, these little bastards over here. So that should be enough for us. I'm going to try and get this chain to go all the way out and into here. Just daisy chain a whole bunch of stuff around. We got a little bit of metal back right there, but not a lot. I think we are probably... Well, I mean, they're in here producing. I can't really tell them much else to do other than that. I mean, we got guys on the machine, so... Do I have with my immigrant setup, do I even have a chance of getting guards right now? Go ahead and give me a little chance of getting guards for the next little bit, because I'd like to stock up. Pretty soon I think we're going to want to do tourism and maybe get people onto our planet in order to spend a little bit of money so that we can earn some credits that we don't have to barter for at a ridiculous rate. I think if we had a passive source of income right now, I'd be happier with the situation. And so let's continue retrofitting in this direction. Yeah, I think our food is going down. Let me consider then making another biodome. This time a pretty big one, actually. We're only using 100 out of all this. And those are actually functioning at peak, though. Plug that in right there. Plug that in right there. And then with this, we'll get rid of you. Was that a medium? Oh, they are. They're medium solar panels. That might have been a mistake. Oh, well. What you gonna do? I think that I'll probably put another big one over here in this area that it won't let me develop anyways. Or a big wind turbine that would offset, you know, what we have going on with those other turbines. Yeah, actually, a jumbo turbine. I don't know what it produces. But I wouldn't hate a jumbo turbine. That'd be fine by me. For one of what these tubes are right here, it's the exact same thing that exists in your municipal. If you live in the like world where, I guess, the first world or the second world or whatever, all these are is they're just big power transfer cables. Inside there's just big a knot of cables that just routes power and water around. It's all that it is. Cities have these all over the place, but typically they're underneath the sidewalks or underneath the streets and things like that in order to conserve space. I know this because I had a tree at one of my old houses. The tree's roots, like the tree had been there for like 50 years. It was an old-ass tree in an old-ass house. It was a willow tree. And the roots had somehow gone all the way down and strangled the water pipeline, so the city had to come through. Had to dig up the entire street, and we had no water for like 2 days, and it was gnarly. Luckily enough, they didn't make us pay for it. Like, I don't know how that decision is made. Like, who makes the call, like, you have to pay for this? But somehow it was deemed as not my family's fault because there's a tree that's been there for like 60 years. Like, how are you going to... It sucks. Like, how are you supposed to know that was going to happen, you know? It's like nobody's fault. But in situations like that, I find that if a government can figure out a way to blame it on somebody, they will. A couple more workers right there. I'm going to turn off immigration for the next little bit because we keep getting big offloads here. Let's go ahead and I'm going to stop colonists for right now because I do see our food dropping off pretty quickly. I think we're getting to the point where we can't produce it fast enough. And so we built ourselves the big turbine. Is it done? Big turbine ain't done yet. The little turbines only produce 20 power, so I'm going to take a look at what this produces, and I'll get rid of that many over here, and then we'll be good to go there. I think the next thing we definitely need is either a biodome. We might need another canteen. I don't know. I think it's because they bum rush the machines once a day, too. Like, they get done with their work, and everybody's just like, no! And they bum rush the machines super hard. When that happens, are they getting morale back right now from sitting in front of the TV? I don't know if the TV, they actually have to interact with it. Like in a connection sense, like they're connected to the tables right now in terms of the programming. Like I don't know if they have to stand and watch the TV or they just have to be in the radius of the TV for morale to go up. I don't know exactly how that all functions. That couple of workers that we just got will be super helpful though because we've been having trouble staying on top of our ore. So my dream right now is to see all this stuff just taking place. Oh, the guard's just standing around, huh? Nobody fabricates the gun. I don't know why nobody's fabricating guns right now. Oh, we need semiconductors for the gun. I didn't even realize that. That took me forever to realize. Okay, we'll make some semiconductors then. I don't care. We got supplies. We got things. Should be alright. So this Mama Jamma does 50. So he's worth 2.5 of those. Wait, how does that trade? Hold on. What? So if it costs 1 to do 20, why would you ever build the big ones? Shouldn't he do... He should do 80 power in order to be useful. Like, that's a waste of resources to do the big one unless you're really trying to mash out some power real quick. Huh. Interesting. The little ones are a better investment. Okay, well, whatever. Worry about it later. For right now, that gives us some leeway on these little dudes. Well, that's a... Why is that one worth 2? Hold on. Just want to make sure this is all connecting properly and that we have like backup lines going places for when I do this. Those are medium turbines. I would rather get rid of the little turbines. So how come that little turbine was worth 1, but that little turbine was worth 2? I wonder if it just like randomly rolls a die and you just get what you get out of it. And it's like, meh, deal with it. Meh. That's the noise that I make when somebody's about to be disappointed. Like when you're at work and you got to tell somebody bad, you're like, meh, you got to do it. Meh. But I don't want to do that job today. Meh, you don't have a choice. I don't want to be on duty. Meh. Let's think about... So are these not producing? Like, where are my vegetables at? I'll probably make a big biodome over here. That'll fix it. That'll fix it. Let's take a big biodome. Yeah, the big... That's the big berth of... What is this right here? It's storage and it's all empty? Yeah, that's a bad sign. We need to get on top of this, like, right now. Mega biodome! Wait, was that the big biodome? No, that's the medium one. I don't want the medium one. What are you, a trading ship? What do you have for me? You're a robot trader. Got constructor bots. What's your 45% commission? It's better than what you normally get, so I'm not going to complain too much, but... you can just chill. Need to get back to building this biodome, son. We can either drop it right there. We can drop it right... I wish... Hey, there it is. That's what I wanted. I got the result that I wanted, and that makes me happy. I like it when I get the result that I wanted. I mean, we're kind of like top-heavy on the workload over here anyways. Hopefully they get that done quickly enough. Or at least we have a harvest that'll, like, forestall the horrible thing that's about to happen in just a moment. Yeah, I'm seeing a lack of food. I mean, down here at the bottom we're good to go, though. So maybe it's just because the surplus is all going down here. I'm not really sure. Plastics are being carted off to somewhere. So we're making semiconductors. Those should be good in a little bit. He's over here making parts and spares so that our power system will be in good shape whenever it gets damaged by sandstorms and whatever. We should be okay. I think the food should hang tight. But I might want to actually put in another lab up top where they could produce meat around here somewhere. I might be able to fit something small in here too. Just a little thought that I was having in between episodes. Like if you put something really tiny in here. I know. Insert dick joke. Feel free. Feel free. The dick joke is yours. Power grid looking absolutely fantastic right now. Shining. Grinding. We do need to get on top of this food situation, though, sooner rather than later. We're spitting out veggies, but not at a rate that pleases me. We did have a period of, like, really wanting expansion, though, so... I mean, basically, the way I gotta make this work... I mean, and all that's gonna happen is if they run out of food up here, they're all just gonna reroute down to here because, oh, there was hella food down here. Maybe there's not anymore. We just had a big harvest, so that'll buy us a little bit more time. You guys stacking all the parts down here. I don't have an airlock on this side in case you're wondering, so that's probably going to take forever too. In fact, now that I have space, let's make an airlock over here. I like our base. I know it's like riddled with inefficiencies, but I really do feel confidently that I'm having fun with this game. I enjoy it a lot. I have a real addiction to, like, colony simulators like this and RimWorld and stuff like that. Like, I have a big problem. I tend to, like, binge play these games super hardcore every now and again, and I just, like, disappear in the world for a while because it's so easy to get caught up in, like, the moving parts and everything that's functioning. As soon as we get that built as well. We got a lot of workers out here, so hopefully we'll get a solar flare right about now. That would be about the worst thing that could ever happen at the moment. I'm sure the game's thinking about it. I'm sure it's thinking about it. Food bounced back up, which is good. But the veggies are also being used, remember, for the liquor, so... We also lost our carrier bot over here, so it's going to need to be repaired. Yep, long walk. But this is going to be the solution to a problem that we've had for a while. And so once we start constructing down here and sort of like patchworking everything together, I think it'll be good. I like this biodome too because that puts him within distance of both stockpiles for where his stuff can go when he's trying to hold it down. Did we not have enough power today or did we just not get enough? Hope we make it through the night. Food stocks are low and I am trying to fix that right now, but... Yeah, I know. Kind of difficult. Keep hoping a constructor bot will come down here and actually, like, build the thing that's supposed to be built. Oh, look at that. It iteratively adds the parts. I never noticed that before. But we're going to be out of time very, very soon. I'm going to wait for this all to get done. My name is Splattercat. I will see you all later. Thank you for stopping on by. I'm having a blast with Planetbase. I highly recommend this game. This is one of those greenlight projects that has lived up to expectations and more. And, you know... It's fun. That's all you can say about it, and that is the ultimate goal of a video game, is to just be fun. And so I will see you all later. Hi, everybody. This is Planetbase. Buy it down below if you wanted to.